What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and today we have quite a bit of news going on in the Marvel Universe, and a slight bit of DC news as well for the DC fans out there. Today we'll be talking about Spider-Man 4 and some updates about its possible new release date. We'll be talking about the World War Hulk solo movie and the ending of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Don't worry, no big spoilers here, but James Gunn did recently come out and kind of talk about how it's going to end. And it does sound super emotional, and you just kind of feel like a lot of the Guardians are gonna die. And then we also have some updates about CCXP. Marvel Studios is attending CCXP, and if you caught my video yesterday, you know that it said Marvel Studios has some surprises for us coming at CCXP. Possibly a new trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, maybe something for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, or maybe something for Secret Invasion, as those are the next projects coming up for Marvel Studios. I would not expect anything about Spider-Man 4 to be announced because Sony has pulled out of CCXP. And if there was any type of announcement that was going to be coming, it would be from Sony, not Marvel Studios. Sony always handles the announcements. Although today it does seem like we have found out why Sony has decided to skip CCXP this year. It looks like Sony could be changing some things in their Spider-Verse and the movies that they have coming up for the Spider-Verse. It's been reported that Sony Pictures has officially informed CCXP that they will not participate this year, as its main titles had a date change, which prevented large actions from being viable for this edition of the event. So, some of their main titles are having date changes. And, according to Alex P. from the Cosmic Circus, who has been providing updates about CCXP and Sony not attending, Alex tweeted, the more likely candidate for a date shift would be Spider-Man 4, probably to December 2024, but given how that project is still 2 years away, the date shift probably refers to one of the 2023 films coming up. So, either Madam Web, Kraven the Hunter, or Across the Spider-Verse. Now, anytime Sony kind of shifts something, it makes you feel a little bit uneasy. Sony has been kind of rough lately with what they exactly want to do with their Spider-Verse. It seems like their plan is constantly changing, which is fine if you are changing for the better, and recently it does seem like Sony does have a better plan. Rumor has it that they are working up for a huge Spider-Verse film where a ton of different Spider-Man variants come together in one universe. An event in the comics titled Spider-Geddon. So hopefully whatever date changes are being made are for good reasons. And I want to say, and this is just speculation on my part, that they are making these changes to include more of Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the Sony Spider-Verse. We already know that there is going to be a baby Peter Parker in Madam Web. Madam Web is supposed to explore multiple universes as well, so it could be a Peter Parker of another universe. And it's even rumored that there's going to be a Peter Parker in the main universe that Madam Web exists in that is not Tom Holland's Peter Parker, which does make sense because it is a completely different universe. However, we have recently heard that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to be in Across the Spider-Verse, the new Spider-Man animated movie. So clearly, Sony has plans for all of their universes to interact with each other, so it would make sense that Tom Holland's Spider-Man would come over as well. So if there is a date shift for Spider-Man 4, hopefully it's because they are trying to work Tom Holland's Spider-Man in another Spider-Verse movie. I do think this would be a good move by Sony, and Sony has been working really closely with Kevin Feige recently, so I think they could pull this off. We'll have to wait and see on this, but let me know your thoughts about it in the comments down below. Now, like I said, the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 ending, based off of everything that we've heard, seems like it's going to be pretty sad. So get your tissues ready, we'll talk about that in just a bit, but first, thank you to Mint Mobile for sponsoring this video. Most people know about Mint Mobile because of Ryan Reynolds, but most people don't know about Mint Mobile's amazing quality. Now, I live in the mountains and service isn't too good. However, Mint Mobile sent me a free plan and I get better service with their plan than I do with my other provider. But what's crazy is their plan is so much cheaper. Mint Mobile offers wireless for just $15 a month. They give you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family, and at Mint Mobile, families start at only 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Plus, Mint Mobile's modern family plan lets you mix and match data plans so everyone gets the amount of data that's right for them, and you can use your own phone and keep your same number and contacts. So to get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, including the modern family plan, go to mintmobile.com/cosmic. That's mintmobile.com/cosmic. Cut your wireless bill down to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/cosmic. So as I mentioned, James Gunn has recently spoken to comicbook.com about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And he said it was really hard. He said making the much bigger Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which will bring back 2014 Gamora post-Avengers Endgame and introduces cosmic characters like the High Evolutionary and Adam Warlock, was really hard for James Gunn, he said, especially after becoming co-chair of DC Studios. So right off the bat, if you are worried about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 not being so good, because let's face it, most trilogies, the third movie is typically the worst one, well, don't worry so much, because James Gunn is totally aware of this. Here's what he had to say about the finale of the trilogy. He said, "I think I felt a lot of pressure before because it really matters to me that we end this story well. I'll be honest, I started looking at all the trilogies that have existed throughout time, and in most trilogies, the third movie is awful. There's a couple of exceptions, but when I say a couple, I mean like 2 or 3. It's very rare that the third movie in a franchise is good, so it was important to me that we really ended this story in a good way." The article goes on to say, along with a tearjerker origin story for Baby Rocket, a lot of Volume 3 is going back to see the beginning so that we can really see the end. We see the importance of Rocket's character and who he is. It was just important to me that it worked and that I did everything possible I could for the sake of these characters and for the fans, so I put my all into it. So we know, because Marvel Studios announced it, that Chakotay Awuji is going to be playing the High Evolutionary in Guardians 3, and we know that the High Evolutionary made Rocket Raccoon. The High Evolutionary is known for experimenting on animals and making them become essentially human, or at least having the intelligence of humans but remaining animals still, much like Rocket Raccoon. We even heard Rocket in the Guardians movie talk about how he didn't ask to be made. He didn't ask to be turned into a monster. Well, in this third Guardians of the Galaxy film, we're going to explore that. Now, a lot of people are really worried that Rocket Raccoon is going to die and that a lot of the Guardians are going to die. A lot of the Guardians cast said that when they read the script and they read the ending, they were filled with tears. And James Gunn has said in another interview with comicbook.com that we know most of them are going to make it out alive, implying that there are going to be some that are going to die. And since James Gunn has expressed that he pretty much believes that this is going to be his final Marvel project, he said never say never, but he does believe this will be his final one, he's going to close out the story the way he feels it needs to be closed out, and that could be some deaths. But there is some hope, because in this interview with comicbook.com, he does say, "This is the end of that story," referring to Guardians Volume 3. "I'm sorry, some stories have an end, but it doesn't mean everybody dies." And hey, fingers crossed that we don't lose anybody. But we do know that moving forward after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, there will be a new Guardians team. Hopefully Star-Lord remains a part of it, and hopefully Adam Warlock joins as well. But for the rest of them, we'll have to wait and see. Also, James Gunn has expressed that he will not be attending CCXP this year for Marvel or DC, as he is finishing the DC slate. And he has expressed, and DC has expressed, that they are planning to get together to talk about the entirety of the slate and reveal it on January of this year. So for the DC fans, get ready, because I think James Gunn is going to completely turn around DC and make it really great again. And yes, we will be talking a lot more about DC. And last but not least, it looks like the rights for the Hulk and a solo film for the Hulk are coming back to Marvel Studios in apparently 2 years. Today, in a tweet, the MCU Direct tweeted Hulk's theatrical rights are reportedly still owned by Universal Studios. But the insider account, My Time to Shine Hello, who has been very accurate about a lot of things with the MCU, especially leaks, says, for now, they'll get the rights back in the next 2 years. Which means that we are not getting a Hulk solo film within the next 2 years, even though it was teased in She-Hulk, especially with the introduction of, and spoiler alert if you have not seen the She-Hulk finale, Scar, Hulk's son. Now, the Hulk solo movie has been rumored to be a World War Hulk solo film, and She-Hulk made it very clear that there is going to be a Hulk movie. However, they don't exactly tell us when it's going to take place. It could be a recap of the events that took place on Sakaar and could be set back in time. I hope they don't do this, but it very well could happen this way. The other option, of course, is it happens after 2 years and they keep it in the timeline. But that would probably mean it would come after Avengers Secret Wars, which could be good or it could be bad. I, for one, want a full-on Hulk for Avengers Secret Wars. I want to see the Hulk out again in his full rage. I don't want to see a Professor Hulk, so hopefully we don't have to wait for the Hulk movie to see that actually happen. Or if we do, hopefully that movie comes out before Secret Wars. But Avengers Secret Wars comes out November 7th of 2025, which is less than 2 years away. Maybe they can work out something in between, but as of right now, a Hulk solo film is going to be coming after Avengers Secret Wars. That doesn't mean we won't see Hulk in other projects and see him Hulk out, but for his solo film, it looks like it's probably coming in 2026. But hey, let me know what you think about all of this news in the comments down below. And let me know if you think one of the Guardians of the Galaxy is going to die. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news. For live updates, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.